What's up, everyone? Drew, aka Catching Rockets here. I hope y'all are having a good day. I hope you had a good trading day. Um, the baby is cruising around in her locker, so you're gonna hear some random weird noises in the background. Um, Trading today. Hmm. Um, this was your retest for longs here. Hopefully, you guys caught it. Um, the only trade I took today was I went short right around here somewhere. I don't know the exact number. I don't remember. But on ES, I was short right there somewhere. Yeah. Um, that's it. That was my only trade. Um, Hang on one second, everybody. All right. And then we had an option trade we were looking at, UPS. Unfortunately, we didn't even come close to the trigger. They gapped down, um, went up a tiny bit, and then sold off. So this was invalid, and I have marked it as such. All right, let's start erasing stuff and look at what we're seeing for tomorrow. I will say I do have to be a little bit quick on this video, as Shorty is going to be going live um, at 9:15 p.m. Eastern. Excuse me. All right. Let's see. So this was our pretty critical level that they needed to hold for bulls. And you can see they tried to bounce it there, tried to bounce again, and then lost it ultimately. Anyway, let's chart this up. I also have to mention I cannot wait till this baby can talk. She is already in her terrible twos, where I guess she's realized if she cries, she gets what she wants. And she'll throw little tantrums, and she can't even talk yet. Crazy. Basically, I can't wait to nip that all in the butt, but I've got to wait till she can talk. Got some single prints. Ooh. Excuse me. All right, you're going to force me to do this. I don't like to do this. Is that wrong? Oh, it just took forever. I think I'm doing something wrong, and I'm about to be over it. I'm over it. Um, Let's see. All right. From our lower time frame, it's really just not telling me much of anything. I do like that we closed below 585.20. To me, that's bearish, but we've got to get significantly lower to have any kind of like bearish outlook. So we've been talking about this. Our monthly top cloud is closed. That's right where we're rejecting from. Again, back inside this, bulls need to hold this level. Let me turn off the clouds. Lots of volume today. This is the most volume we have had since April 10th. And very bearish candle. Again, we broke through this level that the bulls need to hold. Would like to see continuation down 576.98 to confirm that this is in fact bearish. I would also love a retest of this to enter short. Okay. Let's go back to our lower time frame. Let's take a look at news. I think tomorrow there's stuff going on before close. I mean, before the open and then after. Oh no, tomorrow's busy. Okay. So a lot of news for futures really early in the morning. Hour before the open, unemployment claims. 15 minutes after the open, we have flash manufacturing PMI, flash services PMI. 30 minutes after the open, existing home sales. And then 2:30, Governor McCallum speaking. And then just before the close, right? Retail sales quarter over quarter in New Zealand. So huge day for news. Ideally, a retest here. I'll be in short. If they give us this, it's not a terrible spot to close and look for calls. However, I would prefer we gap down overnight, retest, and enter short there. Okay. I guess I'll make some detailed notes for the people that don't watch my videos. That's it. Traveling investor, thank you for your message. I really liked it all the way up until the no Diddy part. That kind of takes the fun out of it, but whatever. Sean Ivy for SIGs. I'm generally watching for second and third SIG for a reaction. So If we're coming down to the lower second or third SIGs, I would be watching for a bounce. If you're going up to the second or third SIGs, I would be watching for a rejection. Okay. Shoot, I just realized today was the day I thought I would have time to erase my chart and start fresh, but I'm probably going to have to leave that for Sunday. Corey, I don't know. I really don't know. My wife is... I don't know how to word this. Like, she'll say things are salty that to the average person is not salty. So she tasted the beef jerky and told me it was too salty. And then my son tasted it and he said it was salty. And I'm like, okay, shit, let me just taste it. And if you don't know, I'm vegetarian. I don't eat meat. But so I ate a little piece. To me, it tastes great. But I guess now my wife doesn't think it's salty. And my son also thinks it tastes good now. So I don't know. I think it tastes really good. But it's not like, wow, amazing, I would make this again. I think the Dr. Pepper jerky is way better. And just my regular recipe with, soy sauce, Worcestershire, and then all the seasonings, salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, blah, 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 blah. So, oh, and then maple syrup, brown sugar. That's like one of my favorite recipes. I'm going to be doing like a pineapple honey jerky soon. I just bought a whole brisket. It was on sale. I was pretty stoked. And right now I have pork loins on the smoker. Oh, nice, Brian. Yeah, if that was you that posted it in Keenan's Discord, it looked good. All right, I'm going to post my levels. If you guys have questions, now would be the time. While I'm chilling here waiting for a second, something I don't talk about very much just because I don't want to be seen as somebody that's like selling stuff, but nice, Corey. That's awesome. There's the mentorship group that I'm doing right now. I think we're already starting to see some pretty good results from the people in the group, at least the ones that are sharing. If you're struggling with trading, I would highly recommend joining the group. I will say it's like $100 one-time fee. It's really inexpensive for what it is. All of the sessions are recorded, so you can rewatch them as much as you want to watch them. I think there are also people probably definitely have more access to me as far as questions and whatever else. And we review trades that people have taken, figure out, if everything looks good or if there was adjustments that I would make if I was taking the trade. So if it's something that you're interested in and you're not in there, I would highly recommend it. And just shoot me a DM And again, like I said, it's just $100 one-time fee. Um, but I think, or I don't think, I know value-wise it's worth way, way more. So I'm basically giving it away. um, with that said, I'm going to call it a night here. Um, there is nothing left to say. I don't know what I was going to say. Nothing else to say. Shorty will be live, like I said, in about an hour, doing a market update on futures. Right now, futures are very, very slightly green from the close, but we're still in that bearish territory. They actually might be coming up right now to retest this 585 level. Let's see. No, 582. They would have a ways to go for 585. That doesn't seem right. Oh, I guess it's not that far. Yeah. Anyway, with that said, as always, huge thanks to the oh, thank you, Brian. I don't even know what a P238 is. I have the a 220 Equinox here. Woo. This thing's chambered and ready to go. So I'm like and then yeah, my P365. This is crazy. I'm so happy with how this turned out. Like, I can't wait to go shoot it. I've never shot this gun. I didn't shoot it before I did all the modifications, but basically I had the slide milled, the slide milled, so the Trigicon's a direct fit without using the plate. And then I put on the compensator, went from the smaller grip to the longer grip, so the compensator is like flush at the end. Obviously, flashlight. It also strobes. And then I had to get, I mean, this won't make sense to a lot of people, but I had to get custom mags because I'm in California. So these are 17s. Mag plates, they're metal mag plates. The mag well, extended mag well, so it's easier to load. And then the back strap, this is all metal back here, and this is all metal. It feels nice. It feels really good in my hand, and I cannot wait to go shoot this thing. I actually almost went tonight, but it's a bummer. There's a gun range like literally 2 blocks from my house, or 3 blocks. It's close. And they have a age limit of, I want to say 12 and over. And I'm sure you guys know, like, I'm just not like a liar, right? So I could easily take my son there and be like, oh yeah, he's 12, but he's not, he's 10. And so I don't like to be dishonest, and I wasn't willing to go that route, you know? So instead, the shooting instructor that my son's done classes with teaches out of that shooting range. So I asked him, like, hey, can you talk, you know, to the manager or whatever, and see if they'll make an exception, you know, for a kid that's like actually been professionally trained, you know, how to handle a gun, how to shoot a gun, whatever else, blah, 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 blah. He asked them, and they were like, they told him, like, no, you know, like, that's a hard rule for us, 12 and over. And he told me today, actually, and I was like, okay, you know, it is what it is. That's their rules. I guess we'll follow them, you know. But it's nice because, I mean, it would be nice because they're open till like, I think 10 o'clock at night. So me and my son could shoot over there, you know, put some rounds down range. But I'm also not terribly disappointed because indoor ranges like that, you're very limited on what you can do, meaning that you can't, generally, they won't let you like draw from a holster and then shoot. And most of what you do at like an indoor range is just waste money, where you have your gun, you put bullets in it, and you shoot them straight, and you're not learning anything, meaning that you're not improving, like, pulling from a holster, quickly getting your gun to presentation and pulling the trigger on target, whatever else. Basically, improving yourself for self defense. Whereas the range that I like to go to is an outdoor range, and they close at like 4 o'clock at night. Um, no way that I could make it there in time today. Um, but there, you basically have your own bay, and you can really do whatever you want. You can run with your gun if you want to and shoot it. Whiskey Mike, both of the guns that I showed are SIGs. One's a SIG P220 Equinox, and the other one that I just got back today is a SIG P365. Um, that's the one I had the slide milled on, and put the compensator on and all that stuff. So it's now a very expensive gun. I think I put way too much money into that gun. Anyway, as always, huge thanks to all the friends of the stream, all the subscribers. Big thanks to the people that talk, keep things interesting. I hope you guys don't mind it when I go off on tangents and talk about random things like my kids and guns and whatever else, but I can't just sit here and talk about stocks 24/7. Whiskey Mike, the P365, if you go to Radian, or just search Radian Ramjet, they make this for SIGs as well. So right here. What in the hell? It's expensive though. This is the afterburner ramjet for SIG. And so you have a barrel that's ported for the compensator. And they have it in different colors. Yeah, and you're looking, basically $4 just for the barrel and the compensator. And then, so I have that. And then I have, what is it? This backstrap magwell. So that's that metal piece I was showing you. And then I also have the magazine base plates. I will say Radian is not cheap, but they make a really good product. So, good stuff. Rico, I do trade live in the morning. Oh, you're saying you wish I traded live on YouTube? Yeah, I do every once in a while. Um, I don't do it very often. This might sound crazy, but when I stream live on YouTube trading, I start feeling like an immense amount of pressure, and I start feeling stressed out where I normally don't feel stressed. Um, it's probably just because I don't do it very often, and then when I do, it's like, whoa. Um, I already trade live in front of probably a good like 50 or 60 people in Discord, and I don't know what word to use. Like, I don't want to say it's stressful, but it adds a little bit of anxiety to my trading, in the sense that I don't like to lead other people wrong, right? I'm fine with being wrong on my own. But when I start calling out bad trades and there's other people watching or following me, then I start like feeling bad. But I know it is what it is. Whiskey Mike. All the stuff we're talking about tonight is Texas, right? Trading guns and smoking meat. Um, just need to, well, and I guess your name has whiskey in it. So I was about to say we just need some whiskey, but you've got that covered. So we're good to go. Um, yeah. Um, I don't mind going live on YouTube every once in a while. I've talked about this before. Basically, what it comes down to is my mentor taught me how to trade for free. When he decided to open his Discord, he asked me if I would help him, um, whatever, be a moderator or an admin. I'm an admin, but help him run the Discord, trade live, whatever else, blah, 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 blah. And so I feel like basically the Discord, um, we give everything away for free, right? So all of our classes, everything is all on YouTube for free. What isn't on YouTube for free is us trading live daily and the conversations that are had in the Discord. So there will be a lot of conversation, about education, about trading, whatever else. Um, that stuff isn't given away for free. And I feel like if I traded live every day on YouTube, I would be basically making um, the Discord like almost worthless, I guess. I don't know. um, so that's why I don't trade live on YouTube. Mainly is just I feel like my loyalties lie with my mentor, and I'm a loyal person. I don't. Yeah, I don't. Honesty, integrity, loyalty, all of that stuff is super important to me. And Whiskey Mike. So I have a mentorship group right now. I'll kind of show you guys what it is. So this is it. There's um, basically my main thing is the books that you want to read, right? I mean, this is not exclusive to this Discord. I've shared this in every Discord that I'm in. Um, and then we have the mentor sessions. Obviously, you could type this in right now into YouTube and watch session one, but all of them are recorded and so that people can go back and watch them. They can also watch live, ask questions, and then people will basically well, they'll share their trades, and we'll review the trade. Like when we go and do a live session, a lot of what we're doing. So basically, to kind of lay things out, the beginning part of the mentorship is teaching, right? This is how you trade. These are the entries you want to look for. Journaling, one trade a day, blah, 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 blah. Once we get all that down and people start trading, we're looking for small positions. So like this person is trading MES, which is the S&P 500 micro, which basically for every $1 move is $5 plus minus $5, right? Scott Dog, that's funny. I'm sure like watching the live, you're probably like blown away with how accurate we are with our levels. But yeah, so um, basically, if you're looking at like they have lines marked, but they don't have everything explained, right? Um, right here, there's a poor high. I wish I could draw on this, but the if we were put a line right here, you'll notice their stop loss is slightly above this. Actually, this might be a strong high. I can't really tell. We're kind of zoomed in. And so basically the theory is if they were going to stop you out, they're probably going to come to that level and then reject from there. And so the stop loss you want a little bit above, so that if they do come back to there and try to stop you out and then go in the direction you were looking for, you're not getting stopped out on the trade. And this is something that I'm teaching, in the mentorship group. Um, the They entered. Well, I guess over here. I don't. Their box is over here, but it should be over here. They entered $1 below the level they were looking to enter, which was their previous day value area low. When we sold off from there, they entered on the retest. This is another thing I talk about. So like on ES or NQ, you want to have like a 1 point range around your level, because sometimes they'll reject, like 75 cents before or 75 cents above or whatever, $1 before. And so that you don't miss the trade, you're getting in slightly early, right? So they entered 1 point before their level, which is why their green box is slightly below this purple line, which again was the previous day value area low. They targeted this level here, 5,925, because they had a single print here. And so this is actually something we'll talk about tonight. Single prints is not where you exit trades, because generally when we come to single prints, a single print is going to be like a strong low or a strong high. And generally price will come to where the strong low is and bounce before it gets to it, or come to where a strong high is and reject before it actually reaches it. So for example, like if this is a strong high here, they would come up and like reject like they did right here, before they reach the actual strong high, right? So this was not a good exit. It worked, but based on their reasoning, it's not a good exit, right? And then you'll notice their risk to reward is 2.26 to 1. So they're risking $1 to make 2.26. And basically, the initial phase of the mentorship group, again, is focused on the education aspect. It's focused on teaching how to trade, and then teaching all of those little intricacies, like the strong highs, strong lows, single prints, whatever, poor highs, poor lows, where to exit your trade or place your stop loss based on having, a strong high or a poor high, or a strong low or a poor low, blah, 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 where to take profit based on the same information. And then once we've gone over all of the education part, the goal is for everybody as a group, I mean, not as a group, but everybody individually, to trade for about 6 to 8 weeks, just using volume profile and TPO. And we're talking basic TPO, where it's just single prints or our spikes. So single prints, poor highs, poor lows, and spikes. Jeff, you can DM me, yes. And then basically, once everybody as a group has traded for about 6 to 8 weeks, I'm going to feel how things are going as people are progressing through that 6 to 8 week period. And if I feel like most people are doing well with volume profile and TPO, then we'll start adding in things like footprints and more advanced TPO settings. Basically, the point is to start with kind of the basics and start getting comfortable with taking trades based off that information. And then once people are feeling comfortable with that, adding in more stuff that gives more confidence or more confluence, so that you're having higher probability trades, because you have more confluence points, right? I don't like to add everything all at one time because then it's overwhelming and you feel that you're just looking at too much information and you might get information paralysis. So I feel like this is a nice way to ease into it, learn the basics, trade the basics, and then start adding more advanced stuff after that. And so right now, at the point that we're at right now, we still talk a little bit about, like entries or whatever, finding trades. But really, our focus is on reviewing trades that people have taken, um, and discussing like if it was a good entry, if their stop loss was in a good place, if their take profit was in a good place, and then that way, as a group, um, you get a um, like you're still just adding little pieces of education, figuring out what could have been done differently, or if everything looked good on that trade. There's definitely times where I'm like, oh, everything looks great, don't change a thing, right? Um, but we're not learning from everything looks great, don't change a thing. So I prefer the setups where, mistakes were made. Preferably they made money, but mistakes were made. And then that way there's something to fix and talk about. And then everybody as a group can kind of learn from um, mistakes that other people have made. And so that's what we're doing right now. And then the next phase will be adding in basically the more complicated stuff. And then we'll just keep reviewing trades. And I plan on the mentorship to take about 6 months total. Um, and basically, again, like everything's recorded, so people can always go back and rewatch it. Um, Dorrance, you should have TradingView for anything, whether it's for a mentorship group or just for trading in general. Um, so, anyway, I don't talk about this stuff very much because, again, I don't want it to seem like I'm here on YouTube, trying to like sell things or get money from people, because that's really just not what it's about for me. But I decided to charge a small fee for this just because of the amount of time that's going to be required from myself, and um, the limited amount of time that I have, if that makes sense. So when I do these mentorship groups, I'm generally getting on at like 10:30 at night because that's the only time that I have free, and I'll be going until about midnight. And generally, whenever I do them, I'll oversleep the next day and I won't be able to trade because I won't be able to trade the open because I sleep through my alarm because I'm too tired because I was up too late, mentoring people. So I had to make it worth my while, but I also feel like I made it really, really cheap. Um, so again, just throwing it out there. I'm not attached to people joining, but if you want to get better quickly at trading, that would definitely be a good way to go about it. All right. Um, if you're new here, basically 5 days a week, we go over SPY, um, figuring out what we're watching for the next day. Um, and generally, a few times a week, we'll trade option setups. We have a very high win rate on our option trades. The reason I don't call out options every day is because I'm very selective about what I'm willing to share for options, because I want to have a high win rate. A lot of people will say, like calls if it goes above this price, puts if it goes below this price. I'm very selective where I'm only calling one direction based on what I'm actually seeing on the chart. This is our win rate or win loss rate as of now since February. Um, Only 3 losses, and I don't even know how many wins. I think 17 or 18 wins. And then, of course, some that were invalid that never triggered. Never triggered. Um, and yeah, so I generally will call out option trades a couple times a week, maybe 3 times a week. Again, I have a very selective process that I go through to find them. And then a couple of times a week, my mentor will go over, he'll go over futures and give an update on futures and what he's seeing for the next day or for the whole week or whatever it is. And then lastly, generally once or twice a month, we'll go over education, actually teach people how to trade. And again, we don't hide any, we don't like keep secrets. We reveal everything here for free on YouTube. Don't ask for anything in return. But I will say, if you do find the information useful and helpful, I would ask for a sub, and that's about it. I'm not going to ask you for anything else. And with that said, much love, much respect, everybody. Peace out.